Hello, I'm Jacob Wolf, and welcome to the finale of Time Trial. Over the summer, we had teams of creators make a complete short film, all within 48 hours. Each team had to include a prop and a line of dialogue in their film. So, let's introduce our guests. Here with me today, I have Thon and Tommy, who are co-producers on the film, and I have Michelle, who is an actress on the film. So, producing, how was that, Thon? What was your experience with that?
Producing is pretty interesting because it's a lot more responsibility than I anticipated, but I guess it's a little bit easier having someone like Tommy to help co-produce with me. It's we get to bounce ideas off of each other, just have someone there to talk to. It's really nice.
Tommy, how was co-producing for you?
It was good. It was some responsibility and it was a lot of work, but overall I think it went pretty well. I think it went pretty decently.
Michelle, how was being an actress in the short film?
It's fun. Always fun to do work for you guys.
Now, we don't have with us Aiden and Seth today, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they were
correct.
both actors in the short film with us.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. So now that we've met the crew, we're going to give you some things to look out for. As we said, each team has an item and a line of dialogue that they had to incorporate into their film. Philiton's item was a spoon and a line of dialogue. Let's call it a day. So keep a keen eye and ear out for those pieces. With that, let's get into the film.
Trust. Love. Experience. All aspects of a beautiful and meaningful relationship. With Philiton, trust and love is made easy. Your memories, emotions, and thoughts will be shared with whom you love the most. Philiton is a safe and easy way to be connected to your partner in the most intimate and sincere way possible.
My relationship has improved tremendously since we started taking Philiton. It's stronger than it's ever been, and even intercourse has skyrocketed. We're the happiest we've ever been, and that's why we take Philiton.
Ask your doctor before using Philiton if you are pregnant, taking medications, or suffering from mental illnesses. Do not take Philiton while under the influence. Do not take Philiton before or while operating heavy machinery. If the effects of Philiton last longer than 12 hours, get medical attention immediately and/or call 911. Side effects of Philiton include depression, arousal, anger, and nausea. Go online to tryphiliton.com to experience Philiton today.
Hey, do you think I'm fat?
Yeah.
Yeah?
No.
You're such a
What?
You're such an
Yeah, no, you're not
Let me
fat.
get
Come
off-
on,
get
you're
off-
not
no,
fat.
stop, get off of me.
Come on.
Hey, here. Eat this.
Eat this?
Yeah.
What is this?
It's Tylenol.
This is Tylenol.
Yeah. It's Tylenol.
Oh yeah, this is Tylenol.
Yeah.
This is a Percocet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does it taste?
Exactly like Tylenol.
Alright, sweet. We're good then.
Okay, what was it?
It's Tylenol.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Tylenol.
Okay, now actually, what was it?
It's Tylenol.
It's not Tylenol.
Okay. Well, you remember that commercial that we saw about that pill the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that.
It was.
No, it's not.
It was.
No.
Yeah.
You're funny.
Okay, it wasn't.
It wasn't that. You're serious? Is
Yeah.
that? It's the memory pill?
Yeah.
Well, why would you give that to me?
Well, I mean, I didn't think it was that big of a deal.
That's so stupid.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious. I don't want to do that. How does it work? What's going on now?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't kick in for like another 5 minutes, and we'd have to be touching for it to work.
I can't believe you just gave that to me.
Oh, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I mean, we don't
Not
have
that big of a deal. I mean, like, we're gonna know everything. There's no privacy if how's that gonna work?
I mean,
How are
yeah,
we gonna be?
I know. I mean, we don't have to do it if you don't want to.
No, I don't want to. I mean, let's just call it a day. I'll go to my mom's house and I'll stay the night. That way we don't have to touch. And however this pill works.
I mean, don't you think it would be good for us?
No, I don't think it'd be good for us.
Why not? I mean, you know everything about me, and I know everything about you. We'd know all of our problems. It would be so simple.
Why do we need a pill for that?
Well, I mean, what can't you tell me?
I can tell you everything. That's why we don't need a pill.
I just think
Don't touch me.
Go online to tryphiliton.com to experience Philiton today. Ask your doctor before using Philiton if you are pregnant, taking medications, or suffering from mental illnesses. Do not take Philiton while under the influence. Do not take Philiton before or while operating heavy machinery. If the effects of Philiton last longer than 12 hours, get medical attention immediately and/or call 911. Side effects of Philiton include depression, arousal, anger, and nausea.
Well, I want to thank the crew for producing that film for our 48-hour challenge. Thank you guys so much for submitting that to us. And I want to talk about that very interesting concept, starting out with this ad for Philiton. It's a pill, and it's supposed to evoke truth and love and help you find that relationship. So I want to talk about the 48-hour challenge and kind of your conception of that idea, how it went from an ad into this real-world experience of two people interacting over this pill and someone having a disagreement. So co-producers, Thon and Tommy, let's start with you two. How was your creative process when you received the email?
Yeah, so it was your script, so you can talk about
so
it.
we had the original, we had some idea of, like some sort of pill or something that would allow two people to share like ideas and like memories. And we kind of took that idea and based it off around the quotes and the object we were given. And this quote kind of set up some sort of argument or dialogue, and that's kind of the way the film played out.
Did you find it hard to work in the line of dialogue and the spoon into the script?
Yeah, I think the spoon was pretty easy.
Yeah.
The dialogue wasn't too much of a challenge, but it definitely had more of an effect on the actual product of the final outcome. Yeah.
And then Michelle, how was your experience as you went through this? Because this is a very condensed film. 48 hours is hard to make a complete short film in. You were an actress in this. What was your experience? What was your role? How did you feel about it?
I mean, I know like going up there like the first day, I didn't really know what I was doing until we got to like the park where we filmed that scene there. But from there, it was pretty easy. I didn't really feel stressed out. Probably not as stressed out as you guys were feeling, but I don't know.
Yeah, Michelle was super easygoing. Like we were really bad at being organized, and so we literally just said, "Oh, come here, meet us here," and she did really good.
Do you think that disorganization caused some issues?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think if we were more organized, stuff would have just been. We could have done more in that certain amount of time because a lot of it was just planning on the spot. Whereas if we planned it before, then a lot of it, it would have just been really easy flowing shooting.
Mm-hmm. And I think on top of just adding stuff, I think what was there probably would have been better. Because it would have been a little more cohesive, I think.
Yeah.
And Yeah, some like mixing issues and like some lighting issues. Those could all have been fixed probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely something that comes up when you're dealing with a 48-hour film.
Yeah.
You know, you've normally when you have films, you have hundreds of hours to just go through editing and look at every single little
yeah.
detail. But with this, it's like you're writing a script and then you have to film it and then you have to edit it. So, what was the editing experience? Because that was a little problem that we saw. So
What was the editing experience? He edited.
Yeah, he was
the
sleeping.
thing.
He
Okay.
was sleeping
Yeah.
while I was editing, and I woke up early in the morning and drove over to his house, and I edited it all in probably like an hour and a half, I think, and I was still shooting while I was editing. That shot of my stomach, I did that while editing. Yeah, I did that while editing, and
okay, so that just got kind of thrown in there
yeah, so we
while
planned,
you were editing.
Yeah, we planned it ahead of time, and as I was editing, I was like, oh shoot, I need to put it in. So I really ran to the bathroom and just took my shirt off and recorded my stomach. Yeah, and so yeah, with that, editing was done super fast, and because it was done so fast, we missed a lot. Yeah, with the audio issues. Yeah, the audio issues could have been fixed, and we would have had just a better film overall, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the audio was a little bit of an issue, but we still heard every line.
Mm-hmm.
We really, you could still understand the sense of the film.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the one shot at the end, because we have the ad that has a couple different shots, and then we have your belly shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have one shot for the rest of the film. What was your creative process for just doing the one shot of the two arguing?
I think for the most part, because the central plot is focused around both of their dialogue, and I think a lot of it is also, there's a lot of empty spaces, and so a lot of times someone's saying something, but the other person's reaction is equally important.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think showing the entire conversation with both of them there is important. And I think if I was going to change anything, I would probably have it pull in rather than be a static shot, or grow closer as the conversation becomes a little more heated.
Yeah, have a couple of close-ups on their scene or on their
Yeah, I
faces
would
as
probably
they're
rather have
going
it
back
pull
and
in.
forth.
Besides that, yeah, I think the kind of spacing and kind of a lot of the silent, a lot of them just sitting there is important to
Yeah.
kind of their characters. Yeah.
Well, I do want to say that the dialogue was very natural. Was that scripted, or how
Yeah.
did you come up with that dialogue? Because it felt very much like a conversation.
Yeah, so when we were writing the script, we built the script around me and Aiden, which is the other guy. And because we knew before we started shooting, it would be us as the main characters. And so when we wrote the dialogue around us, it was really easy because it was basically just writing down what we would usually say. And eventually it turned into saying the script is for these main points. Just make sure you say these important things, but just say whatever you want around those. And because of that, it created a sort of an improvised setting. And I believe the improvised setting was better because it felt a little more like a natural conversation. It was really just me and Aiden just messing around and just talking about random stuff.
Mm-hmm. So Michelle, I want to tie it back to you. So you acted a little in the film during the commercial. How was that for you? What was the experience? Did you enjoy it?
I mean, it was a bunch of just improv or just, making it look happy with the pill. Yeah. I mean, it was just a day at the park, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to get a bunch of material to play around with for the commercial part of the film. So yeah, we kind of had them do a lot of random activities, and then we put it together at the end.
Yeah.
So creatively, did you get to express yourself in this? How was that experience?
I mean, whenever I act in whatever you guys are up to next or what we've done before, I always just get to express myself in whatever way I want. Just be myself, and a little bit of that seeps through.
So how is acting in this challenge different from acting in other short films? Because I'm assuming from the conversation you've done more stuff with these two.
I mean, other than it having to be done really quickly, you guys do a really good job at not making it feel really stressful, at least for the people and the actors.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
Do you feel like the time constraint limited your ability to be creative with the film?
Definitely, yeah. Because we had like a lot more planned, right? We had like an ending that we weren't able to put in.
So what was that ending? What would you have put in if you were to do this again?
Well, I think as far as the plot goes, I think we would have made what the pill does a little clear, and then the ending is not drastically changed, but we think there could have been a little more tension. The one we had was kind of sitting there silent after, because there's no really culmination to kind of their argument. It kind of cuts at the climax.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would probably put something, them kind of after their fight. Yeah.
Like the after the climax, letting the audience know that
resolution.
Here's what happened, the resolution.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was the biggest challenge that each of you faced going through this film? Let's start with Phone over here. What was your biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge probably, I think my ego got to me because like we've done past films before. So at first I was like, 40 hours is plenty of time. Like we do so much. If we just, like grind it out, we could probably finish it really fast. And then towards the end, I started to feel all that time limit coming to an end. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty much screwed. I don't know how I'm gonna make any of this work. And that was the biggest thing that got me. Was the time.
How about Tommy? Biggest challenge for you through the process?
Yeah, the time, but I think as a product of the time issues, it kind of, what happened was we couldn't really execute our creative vision to the fullest. Because I think we had certain ideas that didn't come across as strong as we wanted to, and then we didn't get to finish, the whole thing. So like the end film is not as, might not communicate creatively exactly what it was supposed to. And so I think,
there definitely was a good line of communication in there, and you could see that throughout the short.
Yeah, but I think it could have been a little more cohesive at least, and that's definitely with the planning at first. I think we spent more time with the script. It may have been, just like a more cohesive film.
Yeah, the themes, could have been better portrayed and like better understood by the audience if we were able to put what we wanted to into the film.
Michelle, what was your biggest challenge here?
I mean, probably just the scheduling thing. I wish I had more time to just been more available, but I think what we got done was our best, or some of our best.
All right, thank you. We're going to cut to a break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about the challenges and what they would do differently if they did this next time.
Audio, man, it's in the air. It's the fluctuations that vibrate our ear holes and make the cochlea sensitive. You can't ignore it, and you try to start measuring it, and it just pulls you in. Well, I used to try to play music on my own, make the sounds from my own hands and instruments. Then I started recording. Upon hearing myself in my recordings, I decided I should just record. When you're a young adult who is serious about pursuing media as a career or even a side hustle, a lot of people won't take you seriously. OMN is cool because not only will they take you seriously, they'll push you and they'll give you all the tools to really try to do something special with it and let you be creative about it. And so that's what's been special about OMN to me. I'm Sam Lay, and I'm a student engineer at Orange Media Network.
So I first heard about OMN through the radio program. My roommate was a DJ, and I hopped on his show a couple times, and that was infatuating, and I immediately fell in love with being able to play whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and coming in late at night and sharing my music with whoever was awake at that time was just so exciting and so liberating. Just the ability to explore and learn so many things from so many different mediums is really what benefited me and my experience here in media. Coming out of here, I definitely think I'm going to be looking at the world in a more professional lens. I definitely think that, working as part of a team and making things for other people is something that I've definitely taken out of being here and being on the creative video team especially. My name is Ziad Al-Kaulak. I'm a creative video consultant, a senior studio engineer, and a professional conspirator here at Orange Media Network.
Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. If you just tuned in, we were talking with the production team, Thone, Tommy, and Michelle, about a film that they made that had a spoon and a line. Let's call that a day. So we talked just a little bit about the challenges, and there were some audio issues. The production got kind of put down into this half an hour editing window. We've had some scheduling issues, but we still have a short film that works. So if you were to do this again, what do you think the process would be for you if you still had 48 hours to make sure you got everything done? Let's start with Thone over here.
Yeah, I think if we had another go at it all, I would definitely really enforce the planning of the project, because that sort of sets the foundation of how all the filming and everything is going to go for the next 2 days. And if you have a good foundation, then everything just goes a lot more smooth. So
before that 48 hours hits, you'd know who's doing what job, and even if you don't have the script, you'd know kind of this time's allotted here and work out schedules ahead of time.
I think before, not even just before, but right when we start, that's because we have to write the script. The script, having a good script is good. And then just doing everything, just planning everything at the beginning would be good.
I think you're right. I think doing prep before, getting making sure we have lighting, proper lighting equipment and the people. I think it would have saved a pretty decent amount of time during the actual, creation 48-hour challenge. And I think that'd have been pretty beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, because that time, that all goes into
the
creative parts of it, and you get more time to have fun with the script, and then at the end, you also get more time to do the editing. And that's so crucial.
Very crucial. Yeah.
Michelle, what do you think?
Michelle.
Biggest challenge here.
The biggest challenge?
What would you do differently?
I don't know. I mean, I don't really say much. I just had to go up there and just improv basically this happy couple who had taken Philiton, and then just the one line. But yeah, I don't know what I would change exactly. Maybe I'd want to know what I was getting into before. Probably prepared a little more for it.
Know quite what you're signing up for before you say, oh yeah, I'm there for that.
Yeah. It was kind of fun for me because she agreed to it before knowing what's happening. So I put in a couple of lines that I knew that she wouldn't want to say for fun. A line about intercourse was in there, and I knew that she would she'd giggle at it, so I kind of threw that in just to mess with her. So
there was some tomfoolery going on.
Yeah.
Messing around with people's brains. Okay. So let's talk a little bit more about the script, because that was very interesting creatively. Where did that come from creatively, as you sat down with your spoon and, let's call that a day?
Okay, well, I think the original idea was almost, I don't know how I came up with it, just an idea that I thought would be interesting. It's almost kind of like Black Mirror-ish almost, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of the idea that if you could eliminate privacy between two people, what that would be like for the two people, and whether that's something that would be favorable.
Well, the production team here almost thought of it as Twilight-y.
Yeah,
it's very surreal.
Exactly.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, we were going
to clarify, not Twilight the saga. Twilight
books,
Zone, the TV show.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Yeah, we were saying how we were comparing it to Black Mirror and the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, and I think that's the central idea, is kind of the exploration of privacy between two people, and kind of what makes a healthy relationship. And that's kind of where the idea came from.
So it was experimenting with what if you were to cross that border and make it so that people are just like they have to tell you everything, even if they don't want to. Like what happens when that barrier of trust is broken down?
Yeah.
Because to use that pill, you'd have to inherently not trust your significant other or the person that you're hanging out with. Like you would have to like not trust them in a way that they need something to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. It's very creative. It's very different take on exploring a personal boundary.
Yeah. So, yeah, so I like it because you can go either way with it. It's kind of like creates kind of controversy. Like you don't know, like you can't really say which side is right, which side was wrong. So it kind of like makes you think about what you would do.
So, what is the biggest thing that the three of you will take away from this? Michelle, let's start with you. What is the biggest takeaway here?
The biggest takeaway from like the experience of it?
Yeah, the experience, you're acting, you're
Yeah.
taking away some experience. What's the biggest thing for you?
I think next time I would like to know what I'm signing up for, and then just know how far along we are in the 48 hours.
Yeah, start a countdown timer.
Yeah.
How about Tommy?
Biggest takeaway?
Yeah, biggest takeaway for you.
And probably when we're talking about the problems with the film and what we do differently next time, that's kind of my biggest takeaway if we were to do another film. I think, yeah, we've kind of already talked about it. Mostly the planning and what we do, you know, a lot of the creatively how we came up with the project and technically how we put it together. Those would be different.
Yeah.
What about you, Thon?
Yeah.
Same thing. Yeah, just scheduling and just organizing everything well. That's just the most important thing. Yeah, because I feel like it saves a lot of time if you do everything up front.
Yeah. So, looking back on this now, you've done the 48-hour challenge. We've talked about it, kind of reviewed it. Would you be willing to do something like this again?
Totally. Yeah, probably would do it again, to be honest.
I'm down to do it again.
Yeah, do it again.
So let's take the short film we have with us now. What would you do differently if we gave you the same prompt of, well, let's call that a day, and the same spoon? Well, what do you think you'd do differently
Like with the
from a creative standpoint?
Oh.
Yeah.
with like the same script or like just
Anything. Would you change the script? Would you change the film style? What would you change about it?
I would keep the script.
yeah.
I would. So the beginning, I would change the dialogue in the ad sequence a little bit. I think to make it clear what the pill does.
Yeah.
I would add music on it. We would mix the audio. I think we would probably add a better ending to the dialogue scene. And then, cinematically, I think I'd rather have the camera pull in. I feel like, that would have kind of, I don't know, it would have shown a little better. I don't know. I think it would have
I think it would have been a better resolution overall.
Lighting. There's some lighting issues. We did no Foley.
I mean, that's something that you do in post too, and
Yeah.
that's sometimes you
of
don't know there's a
post
lighting issue until you get in post,
Yeah.
and then you have to go back and refilm something.
Oh yeah.
So, Michelle, how about you?
Michelle.
Do it again?
Yeah, if you were to do this again,
I'm not sure. I mean, I wish we had more time for it, just basically. But if we were doing it again in the 48 hours, probably start it earlier, just so that we had time to do all those extra stuff.
Yeah, you could quit your job and then it'd be really easy.
Yeah, then I would have all the time in the world for you guys.
yeah. So, real quick, favorite parts. Give me a couple favorite parts.
Oh, my tummy. The part where Michelle talks about having intercourse.
Okay.
That was the weirdest
fun.
part for me.
That was the best part.
You knew I would
thank
be.
you so much for joining us tonight. Well, that's all for tonight's episode. It was a blast to hold this event, and we talked about some pretty cool films. If you want to check out more content by KBVR TV, check out our YouTube page. All the short films we posted there alongside episodes of Locals Live and Time Trial. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next year. Thank you.